Welcome to another Tip Tuesday. I'm glad that you're here. I'm going to continue on with my theme for July, which is connecting to your life. And so on my podcast this week, I'm talking about that your life is a story. And it's a really cool story, but we tend to forget our stories. So I wanted to give you a little tip today and a little help to make it so that you not only write your story, live your story, write your story, all of it, and remember your story, because that's where this all kind of comes together. So last month in June, I talked about connecting to your time, and you have to decide the things you want to do, your priorities, all that kind of stuff that makes it so that you are connected to what you're doing. And then you actually have to live it. And that's what we're talking about in July. So life just really goes fast. And that's one thing that obviously I've really noticed, but it's like going faster and faster and faster the older that I get. And I'm sure you guys notice that too. When you're raising little kids, it seems like the days could go on forever and never ever end. Sometimes I guess it still feels like that. But anyway, the point is that we need to make distinct decisions about what we're going to do with our time, and we do that by knowing what our priorities are. And then the fun part is writing it down. Now, some of you might not like that, but I developed quite a few years ago a system that I called Moments to Memories. And it's a way to document the things that you do. And I give you 3 easy ways to do it. Let me find a blank one here. Okay, so a blank one is there's a calendar page where you can just make little notes, and I call it a calendar page, but that doesn't mean you have to write it in that block. It just gives you little tiny places that you can write things that happen without feeling like you have to write a whole bunch. So you can just write one little thing you don't want to forget. Then I have what's called, upside down, a brief note page. And this is where you just write maybe a little bit more if you feel like you want to write more about the one little thing that happened. And then there is the longhand method where you have a lot more space. And so it's kind of meant to take up a whole month. So I pulled mine out today, and I was looking at some of my past ones, and this is from 2020. These are my brief little notes. I actually got to go to Lake Powell for the very first time, and so I have this. I had little pictures and stickers to make it more fun, but you don't have to do that. My son got his driver's license. My daughter went to college. This little date night that we had in our 57 Chevy. Not ours. My father-in-law's 57 Chevy that he lets us borrow sometimes. So it's not ours. So I just wrote little memories about that. When I was looking over that today, I remembered those things that I had forgotten and how much, what they meant to me and how it felt. And when I read them again, it brought it back. And some of the things I wrote more about. And I even included another picture from Lake Powell. And then I took more time and wrote out more of the stories I wanted to remember. I mean, sending to your daughter. I had a daughter that graduated from high school in 2020, which was not a fun time. And then she started college in 2020. So here we are loading her up. You can see her in her cute mask. My husband is really good at water skiing, but we never get to do that. So, and I'd never been to Lake Powell. It was just a beautiful, beautiful place. And so writing down in longhand what I wanted to remember. The pictures do add more. I admit it. They just do. And to look back, okay, I want to show you, I do it sometimes without any pictures. I might add something a little cutesy to it, but you do not have to have pictures and all the stuff. Like, you could do that without any stickers at all. Just write something down. It helps slow your time down. It helps make it seem like it has more weight because it's holding its own space, physical space, not just in our memories. So you think you're not going to ever forget any of this stuff, but you will. So that's my tip for you today. I want you to grab my Moments to Memories insert. I made these for you for free, and you can print one off. Wherever you're watching this, there'll either be a link, or you can just go directly to hunkydory.com and you can click on Get the Moments to Memory insert. If you're on Instagram, you can find it in my link tree, and if you're on Facebook, I'll put the link right here on it. Same with YouTube. So anyway, I'm so glad you were here with me today. I hope you'll take that little tip and start writing down the things that are important to you. Little things that happened, even if you don't think it's a big deal. Sometimes just writing it down helps it to become a bigger deal, and it gives more weight to your life, and it makes it feel like it's not going so fast. I'd love to have you join me on my podcast. It's episode 52, 53. I can't remember right this second, but it's called Your Life as a Story. It drops tomorrow, July 27th. So I hope you'll listen to the podcast. Anyway, I'll see you back here next week for another Tip Tuesday.